Hello everyone, welcome to JK Biology. Today we are going to discuss about the concept anagenesis and cladogenesis. Anagenesis and cladogenesis, these two are the evolutionary processes which will lead to the speciation. Evolutionary processes which leads to speciation. Anagenesis and cladogenesis both are the evolutionary process which leads to the speciation. Speciation, that is nothing but the formation of new species. Formation of new species. This anagenesis and cladogenesis will lead to the formation of the new species. We'll see the detail of these two. First one, anagenesis. Anagenesis, which is also called as the phyletic evolution. It is also called as phyletic evolution or progressive evolution. Another name, progressive evolution. Anagenesis, which is also called as the phyletic evolution or progressive evolution. Now here, ana means new. Just to split the word, ana means new. Genos means race or species. Now we'll see the exact definition of this anagenesis. Anagenesis is an evolutionary process Anagenesis is an evolutionary process where one species is get transformed or changed into another species due to accumulation of changes. This is called as the anagenesis. See here, anagenesis is an evolutionary process where one species is get transformed or changed into another species, that is due to the accumulation of changes. See here is a species A. This is the original species or the ancestral species. Over a period of time, what happens in this species A, there will occur the accumulation of changes. And this accumulation of changes will take place. Due to this accumulation of changes, the species A is get transformed into species B. This is nothing but the anagenesis. Is it clear? Initially, the species A is present. Over a period of time, due to the accumulation of the changes, the species A is changed into the species B. This process is called as the anagenesis. Remember, once the species A is get transformed into species B, there will be extinction of the species A. After the formation of the species B, species A will get extinct. Later what happens? Again, this species B, over a period of time, there is also the accumulation of changes. Due to this accumulation of changes, this species B is get transformed or changed into the species C. Once the species B is get transformed into the species C, there will be extinction of this species B. This process is called as the anagenesis. Is it clear? In this anagenesis, there is no increase in the number of species. That is, this does not promote the biological diversity. Anagenesis does not promote the biological diversity. It does not promote the biological diversity. That means this anagenesis that will not increase the number of species. In case of the anagenesis, there is no increase in the number of species. Hence, anagenesis does not promote the biological diversity. Why? Because here the species A get transformed into species B. Once the species B is formed, there is an extinction of the species A. Hence, there is no increase in the number of species. Anagenesis occurs. Next point, anagenesis occurs within lineage. That means there is no branching of the lineage. In anagenesis, there is no branching of lineage. Now we'll see about the cladogenesis. Second one concept, cladogenesis. Clados means branch. Cladogenesis, which is also called as the branching evolution. It is also called as branching evolution. If you see the exact definition of this cladogenesis, that is, it is an evolutionary change. It is an evolutionary change of a particular species in which new species are branched off from a common ancestral species. This is called as the cladogenesis. See here, cladogenesis, it is an evolutionary change of a particular species in which new species are branched off from a common ancestral species. See here is a species A. This is the ancestral species. Over a period of time, what happens? This species A is branched off into two different types of species, that is species B and species C. This is called as the cladogenesis. Is it clear? Due to branching from the ancestral common ancestral species, there will form the new species. This is called as the cladogenesis. In case of the anagenesis, there is no splitting or branching of the lineage, but in case of the cladogenesis, there is a branching of the lineage. From the ancestral species, there will be branched off of the or branching of the new species. This is called as the cladogenesis. Is it clear? Cladogenesis. Now, in case of the cladogenesis, after the formation of species B and species C, there is no extinction of the species A as in case of the anagenesis. In case of the anagenesis, what happens from the once the species A is transformed or changed into species B, there will be extinction of the original species. But in case of the cladogenesis, there is no extinction of the ancestral species. Hence, it will promote the Hence, the cladogenesis promote the biological diversity. This cladogenesis promote biological diversity because there is increase in the number of species. It will lead to the increase in the number of species. Why there is an increase in the number of species? Because there is no extinction of the common ancestors or there is no extinctions of the ancestral species. Here the new species and ancestral species live together. Hence there is no extinction of the ancestral species. Another thing, that is, in case of the cladogenesis, this cladogenesis will result in the splitting of lineage. Splitting of lineage, which was absent in case of the anagenesis, or branching of lineage. Branching of lineage. Is it clear? This is about the cladogenesis. Now we'll see the similarities between the anagenesis and cladogenesis. Similarities between anagenesis and cladogenesis. First one similarity, that is, these two are the evolutionary mechanisms or evolutionary processes. Anagenesis and cladogenesis both are evolutionary processes or mechanisms. Both are evolutionary mechanisms. Next, the second similarity, that is, both anagenesis and cladogenesis occurs in response to the changes in an environment. Why these two, anagenesis and cladogenesis, occurs? Because of both occurs due to changes in an environment. Another similarity between these two is anagenesis and cladogenesis both leads to the speciation. Both leads to speciation. Anagenesis and cladogenesis will lead to the speciation. That is nothing but the anagenesis and cladogenesis will lead to the formation of the new species. This is about the similarity between anagenesis and cladogenesis. Now we'll see the differences between the anagenesis and cladogenesis. First one difference, anagenesis, which is also called as phyletic evolution or progressive evolution. Progressive evolution. This is anagenesis is also called as the phyletic evolution or progressive evolution, whereas cladogenesis is also called as Branching evolution. Branching evolution. Next difference. Anagenesis is the progressive evolution. That is progressive evolution in which one species is changed into another species due to accumulation of changes. This is the definition of the anagenesis. Cladogenesis, evolutionary change. It is an evolutionary change of a particular species in which new species are branched off from common ancestral species. This is the second difference between the anagenesis and cladogenesis. Next difference. Anagenesis, it is an evolution within a lineage. It is an evolution within a lineage. Whereas this cladogenesis will lead to the splitting of a lineage. An evolution, it is an evolution which results in splitting of lineage. Next difference. Branching of lineage does not occur in case of the anagenesis. No branching of lineage. No branching of lineage in case of the anagenesis, and here branching of lineage occurs. Anagenesis, it does not promote the biological diversity. It does not promote biological diversity. Whereas cladogenesis, it will promote the biological diversity. This is about the differences between the anagenesis and cladogenesis. In this video, we discussed about what do you mean by anagenesis, what do you mean by cladogenesis, similarities between the anagenesis and cladogenesis, and differences between the anagenesis and cladogenesis. Thank you. If you like my video, please subscribe and share.